Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to this 90th episode of the Pre-Market Show. My name's Mandela. We have an extra special guest today. His name is Oleg, and he is backstage right now. He is ready to go, and he is excited to be speaking to you today. If I give you a little bit of background about Oleg, he was born in Ukraine. He's lived in the US, and he's also lived in Australia. Right now, he lives in the UK, and I look at him like a quant. He's probably the closest quant friend that I have. So we'll bring Oleg on in a minute. But without further ado, I want to say thanks for watching. Make sure that you have your pen and pencils ready. There's going to be a lot of tips and tricks that are going to help you in preparing for this market environment. Let's get over to the show. All right. So we have had a total of 64 days in 2026, just if you're wondering. There have been quite a few interesting developments since the start of the year. We've had Venezuela. We've had the situation in Iran. But today we're going to be focusing a little bit on something slightly different. We have a extra special guest named Oleg, and let's bring him on. Oleg, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for spending some time with us today. How are you? How are you doing, Oleg?
Hey, Mandela. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. I've been trying to get you on the show for quite a while, and I think now is the best time, as good as ever, to kind of get you on. So let's start off with a sort of easy question. If someone's just joining us and they're not used to our shows, it'd be nice to kind of get an idea of how did you get interested and started with investing and trading?
Sure. So it was 2021. As everyone, I was bored. I was looking what to do during the coronavirus. And at that time, I used to live in Australia, next to the ocean. And my neighbor was an ex-CFO of one of the biggest Australian banks. So we were going for drinks time to time. And one day we were talking about books that we love. And he told me that, well, he reads a lot of books, but one of the recent one that changed his opinion about Bitcoin was Bitcoin Standard. So he recommended this to me. And I thought, okay, if an ex-chief executive of a bank changed his opinion based on a book, at least it's worth a read, right? So I read the book and I thought, that's interesting, Bitcoin. Let me buy a little bit of this. So I opened an account, started trading, and 3 years down the line, I quit my job. I started doing this full time. And I just love this story as an example of how small random things about which we don't think can change the whole our lives. Because if not this beer with this guy and not this book, likely I wouldn't get into trading at all. So it's just random things, tiny things that completely change the direction of our history.
That's incredible. And it's a reminder that you never know who's going to watch this. And maybe there's someone that's watching right now or who's watching the replay of this who you change their course for the better. It's possible.
Exactly.
It's very possible.
At least one of your viewers with 90 episodes already, you might have grown a new Warren Buffett. You just don't know this yet.
Well, if you are out there and you have found that these shows have been helpful, please feel free to let us know, and be great to kind of just see how people are being impacted by what we're doing. But yeah, very, very great perspective as well, and a reminder that people are going to be looking at this from all walks of life, various stages in their investing journey. I guess one question is, how have you found an edge, or how have you found the ability to squeeze profits out of these markets month in and month out?
It's a great question. So originally I was trading crypto, but now I'm slowly getting money out of my 4 crypto bots because the edge is disappearing. The crypto market is very quick, and the things that used to work 4 years ago don't work anymore. And that's why with every market changes all the time. Market is just a sum of all participants, right? When the participants change, then of course the behavior changes. It's the same as, I don't know, there are people watching football and then you get a completely different stadium that will be completely different behavior, right? Completely different atmosphere, songs, whatever, support. And the same with every market, though some markets are stable because they've been there for tens of years, like futures of the commodities and so on, and they change very slowly. The last big change, well, I don't trade them, so maybe I'm not completely correct there, but the last one that I know was when the algo was introduced. So that's changed a little bit dynamics. When the crypto market is very young, it's been like 15 years. It's nothing by the standards of the market. And we can see from the charts that because the participants change all the time, now we have institutional investors, before it was an official institution, then retail, and all this changes everything. And that's why you need to either find a new edge all the time or adjust your system all the time to stay on top of the market. And that's why I moved from crypto to the stock market, which is a little bit more stable. And to be honest, the strategy that I'm trading now and about which I will talk, it's not even my edge. I just joined a couple of groups, did a couple of courses, and I got the basic from them, and then I changed and modified it to my personality. Because if you don't believe in something, it doesn't matter whether it has an edge or no, you will not be able to trade it. So you need to believe based on your beliefs, whatever it is.
I'm glad that you mentioned that in that I think there are many different ways to trade successfully, and I'm sure you've come across many different strategies, probably experimented and successfully traded a variety of strategies. But there's one level of, okay, I know this can work, and then eventually it has to be something that you trust and you know wholeheartedly over the next 100 trades this will work. And having that trust in it, I think, is what a lot of people lack, especially early on. And then they start to kind of lose faith and then switch or give up very early on. So with the strategies, I think we can have a look at some of the charts that you've shared. I think people like to see examples and they want to see, how can I make money from this? So would you mind if we start pulling up some of the charts that you shared?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So we call this segment Chatting Charts, and these are actually Oleg's charts. They're actually pretty cool, actually. And I want to say these are mostly small caps, a lot of small cap companies, or quite a few small caps. Would you say that's a fair comment?
Yes. So I trade micro caps. They're like really, really tiny caps. It's the companies that are about to die. These are the companies that you can see on the chart. If you look at the annual chart, it's just like straight line down. Because most of them don't have a product, they don't have money, they're just trying to survive. So I'm, like there is S&P 500, there is Russell 2000, like the next 2000 stocks, and then things that didn't get to Russell 2000, these are my friends.
Okay. Can you talk us through a little bit about how you find these? Because I'm sure there are many. This is not my area of expertise, but I'll also open it up to the chat. If anybody in the live chat is familiar with this or wants to have more information about it, please, we have Oleg for the next 20 minutes or so. So please feel free to post your questions. My first question is, how do you filter out all the noise to get to the good ones? And what makes a good one for you?
That's a great question. So that took a long time, and I had to develop my own backtest system because I looked at the market, I didn't like anything. And before trading, I was a software engineer for 20 years and then a cloud architect. So that's natural for me to write code and develop things and program something. And that's why the idea of all these things that these companies, they're all dying, they don't have anything, they're nobody. And at some day, without any reason, without any news, they go up 100, 200, 500%. So, which is really weird. And if there is a company that doesn't have any news and goes up 100%, you can be 100% guaranteed it's a manipulation. Why these manipulations happens, we will talk in a minute. But that's the whole idea of the strategy, is that there are companies that manipulate the market, they go up for whatever reason, and then by the end of the day, or maybe it might take a few days, it doesn't have to be the same day, they will go down because there is no fundamental reason for them to be so high up. They might get to $200 from $2, but then they will go down to $2 because that's the real fair price that the market values. And there are different reasons why this might happen. For example, the chart that you have right now on your screen, we can see that the company started at 0.6 of dollar, which is like 60 cents, and it went up just above the dollar. It just literally pinched the dollar and then went down when it was in the beginning of the day or the yesterday. Why it happens? Because NASDAQ and NYC, they have strict rules about which companies can be traded there. And one of the rules says that if the company goes below $1, then it has 6 months before it's going to be removed from the stock exchange. And so it's not getting removed immediately, even though the requirement is $1. Exactly, that's $1. So the company gets a letter saying, hey, you have 6 months, you're violating the rules, either you do this or we're removing you. And of course, imagine yourself, you're a company owner. You've built this company from the ground. You spent all your money and you hope that your company, it's like your baby, right? You hope it will grow and become the next Amazon. And here you go, you're about to be removed from exchange. Would you do something that is not totally legal to achieve this? So
I would not.
Yes,
just
you would
say
not.
I would not.
Yes, because you are a good law-abiding citizen. However, as we can see, there are quite a few companies who do these things. They manipulate the markets, they go to another company or to a private bank or somebody, and it's possible even sometimes find who did this. Who, see, just pinch over the dollar and it drops. So which means that there was a fundamental reason why this stock had to go up. It doesn't mean that you know which stock will go up tomorrow. There are 5,000 stocks. You have no idea which one of them will decide to manipulate the markets and when. However, you know that they do this. And there are multiple reasons. This is $1 is just one reason. The other reason could be they don't make money, but they raise new capital by creating new shares out of thin air, right? And then they need to register these new shares with SEC, and then they can sell these shares to whoever their sales department finds. However, if their market cap is below 75 millions, then they can sell only 30% of their market cap in 12 months. So all what they need to do is just to get their market cap over 75 million, whatever price it is, and then they can dump another 1 million shares to raise capital to survive another year. So there are real reasons why some people do some things which are not totally legal. However, because there are 10, 20 companies every day doing this. And SEC realistically just doesn't have enough power to look after all of them. Of course, SEC would go after some big company and insider trading, right, where people make millions, where here there is no liquidity to make millions. That's another reason why I'm in this market, because hedge funds don't trade this. First of all, they have a rule, don't trade stocks below $5. And second, maybe they can make, I don't know, 500,000 per year from these stocks if they do everything ideally. Just one analyst in the hedge funds might make more money. There is not much money for them. That's why the big guys don't play here. All this, think about this, all these micro stocks, it's like underground fighting. There is like UFC, which is S&P 500. There is some mid-level preparing for the UFC. And there are people somewhere in the basement of the next house to you where they gamble their money on some, I don't know, the pigeon fights or whatever. Yeah, and that's what happens here. So all these things
can I pause you for 1 second on that? So these companies are still listed. Are they easy to find? Is it, I guess you may be getting to this, but are you able to find, if you want to buy, are your orders going through sufficiently? Is there enough liquidity as a general rule?
As a general rule, for majority of these companies, no. However, when one of these events happens, because you find them via scanner, any scanner, you can see it on TradingView. I use Trade Ideas, but it can be anything. There are so many stock scanners. Even your broker probably would have their own scanner. So you just see which company jumped the most today, who jumped 40, 60, 100%. Then you go into this company and you see, is there a real reason why this company jumped? Because if the company found a cure for cancer, of course, it would jump 10x in a day. And it makes sense because everyone would want to buy it. However, if there are no news and it jumped 200%, you know this is the company. So there is no way to prepare for this. You don't know when they're going to do this. You just sit and look at the scanner. But then about the liquidity, because it's not just me looking at this. There are the whole chat groups, like there are like 2,000 people sitting and doing exactly the same. So these people would provide liquidity. So this is a game of market manipulators pushing it up, a group of people pushing it down. There is another group of people pushing it up who are long, because I'm on the short side. However, there are some groups like, what's his name? Ross Cameron. His group, they're like thousands of people actually looking at the same stocks, but they are betting on them going a little bit higher. They're not buying them for good, but they're betting that in the next 5 minutes it will go up. So they will be my liquidity. I will be their liquidity. But by the end of the day, or by the end of a few days, we all know that this stock's worth nothing and it will go where it was. So, and at the same time, there are the other manipulators who can stop loss hunt, either me or his group. So there are still quite a few participants, and these participants create the liquidity on the day. And what we can see with the years, this liquidity gets bigger and bigger. And as a result, that's why the market changed, because it attracts now guys who were not interested 5 years ago. But now, because we can see candles of 1 million shares per candle, sometimes liquidity goes crazy. And these guys attracts the sharks, like serious hedge funds, or somebody, S&P Capital or whatever, who have money and have resources now to play there because finally there is money for them. So, and that's why this market also pretty dynamic and changes all the time, but the edge is still there. The stock that goes up without a reason has to go down. Now the question is only when will it go down? So if we look at the next slide.
Yes, let's do, okay. We did practice this before, didn't we? And it's this one.
Should be.
It should be this one.
The perfect trade. Yes. So this is the one where it can't get any better. You can see that manipulators push it up in 2 minutes. It went from 2.2 to almost $6. So we're talking 150% in 2 minutes up. They achieved their goal, whatever was their goal. I don't know what was their goal. And most of the time, we don't know the goal, unless it's clearly as the previous example, $1. That was a very clear. Here, it might be in their contract that they can't sell shares until they reach this for their investors, whatever the goal, doesn't matter. You never know, but they reach the goal. After this, they're not interested. And the stock just crashes back exactly where it was. So it was like it can't get any better. This trade, it's like 15-minute trade. You enter after the top and you exit at about the previous day close. And yeah.
So this is where you would enter up here. What was the price level?
No. That would be too dangerous, and we will see soon why. I entered, you can see the blue triangle down. This one? Next. Yeah, this one. So that's where I entered.
Okay, I see. What price level was that, roughly?
That was around 3.7.
Okay.
And then it went down to 2.2. Yeah.
Okay. So are you always short? You're a bear, perma bear.
With these stocks, yes. With crypto, I'm always long. With these stocks, I'm always short. So completely two opposite strategies that I'm playing.
Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a good one. So 15 minutes. So you were in for about 15 minutes on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So from here, from the blue circle, let me see if I can do this again. So somewhere here.
Yeah.
And then back to somewhere here.
Yeah, you see the green triangle there. That's where I exited.
Okay, good. Nice trade.
And then it did nothing after this.
So what was the reasoning? What was the because I guess the scanner, did the scanner pick this up?
Yeah,
what brought your attention to this?
The scanner picked it up. I started looking. There were no news. And so then I was waiting when I thought that the manipulators are done. And when we retraced almost half of this in like 5 minutes, I thought, okay, that looks about time. Unlikely they will push further up if they've already retraced so much. It doesn't make sense for them, right? If they want to achieve more, because now they have to fight back the same price. And it's not free, right? It's not like they can go into the database and enter the number. To push the price anyway, you have to buy. So someone put a lot of capital in the first 2 minutes. And they would have to put another half of the same capital to get the back at least where it was 5 minutes ago. So there was kind of thinking.
One other question here is the time. So is this usually, and just in case you do need to do any trades, please feel free. If you get any trades that you need to take, it would be even better if you take them. What time was this? Was this around the New York Open or before?
So you can see 9:30. That's the yellowish background. That's when the pre-market ends.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yes, so I normally trade in pre-market, which is from 4 a.m. till 9:30 a.m. That's when my backtest showed the biggest edge. Okay. But I know people do this during the market time, and especially on the open, the first an hour and a half, pretty popular.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we have a few more minutes left, and there was a question. We'll come to the question in a minute. I think the question was, how do you identify a level that has a large amount of orders?
I, to be honest, don't look at order flow, and I don't look even at level 2. I used to, but in the end, because the end game is it has to go down. So the current order flow, maybe it would help with the fake outs, but right now it's just a pure price action, and the best that I look at is VWAP, and that's it.
Okay. There's another one here about which scanner are you using? That's coming from Andrew.
I'm using Trade Ideas because it's not free, but it has like millions of customizations and it can notify you. So that's why I prefer this. But you can use any free scanner, like TradingView scanner.
Okay. And are you using a stop loss? Was another question here.
I would love to use a stop loss. I think like everyone must have a stop loss, but the thing is that with the pre-market and post-markets, the stop losses don't work. Your broker wouldn't execute your stop loss. That's why I always have a stop loss, but I have to sit and manually exit on ask when it
Yeah.
happens, because
Yeah.
the stop losses just don't run. Only if my target is not reached and we get into the market hours, at that
Yes.
time at 9:30, which is 2:30 our time, I just put stop losses, put take profit, and I can go and do whatever I want. So I don't need to watch
Beautiful.
the market as a whole anymore.
Beautiful. All right. Next
That's a
one we
great
have
question.
here.
I think very important.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you. That was so we got questions from Andrew and then questions from Red to Green and Mir Sabir. Thank you very much for your questions. The next one we have is PAVM. Do you want to walk us through this one?
Sure. So the previous one was a perfect one. And like 5 years ago, most of the trades were going this way because there was no people. There were just manipulators and people who noticed that this happened. And that's why all these people who started 5 years ago, it wasn't me. It looks like they made a lot of money. You can easily find them on X or on YouTube doing the shorts. However, since then, the market has changed. The market has changed because of the reason, as we talked, more participants, more volume, it attracts bigger companies. And what we can see now with this chart, so it has gone up a lot in the beginning, and then it started going down. And then we can see a stop loss hunt, where it was a week just above the previous high, and then it started going down. No, the very beginning in the pre-market. Yeah, even before the previous top, yeah, this one. So the first leg up, and that's how it would die ideally. From there, it would go down back to it was. However, it didn't. It had a stop loss hunt 1 week to pick up everyone's stop losses who was trading there. And then it started going down, which is like, okay, everyone should be happy. It looks like now should be time down. No, we have another leg up. And that's, yeah, and another up after this. Yeah, and that's where I entered. Because it's about before the opening, I thought, okay, it looks like they've achieved all their goals. But no, it went again up. So I exited on the stop losses there. That was a loss. Then it went down again. Then it went up again with a halt up. There were like 3 halts. And then at this moment, it's like, oh, I wasn't already interested in this. I don't know what they're doing. It's clear manipulations or manipulations, and they can push it up as much as they want if they try to kill someone's stop losses. So, but we can see at the end of the day, again, the final goal is to go down. And that whenever they fed up, and we can see a massive volume spike. So you can see on this spike at the bottom, yeah, there was a massive volume spike, which tells us that someone's stop loss with a big size got killed. So they killed this guy, likely they were pushing up to hunt him down or her. And when they achieved this, whoever did this, they're like, okay, I guess for us, there is no any more reason to push it up. And after this, it started dying. So it's one of the ways to find the top. But again, maybe there is more who they're trying to hunt down. You never know. That's the thing. You never know. Yeah. You just throw the dice and hope for the best.
I like that you're showing not only the winning trades, not only the easy trades, but you're showing the reality, the raw data of these things happen where, you know, you got short here and your stop loss got hit. I think that was also a disciplined trade as well. It never actually went back to your entry until back here, until later here.
But you never know. It could go could go up like 5x from there, and then you would lose much more. So the that's in reality my win rate is 56%. So every other trade goes wrong way, and you have to be ready for this. And the backtest shows that it could be like 10 trades losses in a row, and that's back to your original question. That's the conviction. Everyone must have a conviction, and for me, the backtest give me the conviction, because before, when I was trading without backtesting, and I was getting 5 losses in a row, I'm like, is the edge disappearing? Am I doing something wrong? Is it normal? But now when I see the whole history results for the last 5-10 years, I know, okay, there were moments when this strategy had like 10 losses in a row, and it's okay. And I should be ready to lose 10 times in a row, knowing that after a month to whatever, it will go up again. Or at least hoping, because we never know, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's also the honest part of it, the mathematical part, is that we don't know for sure 100%. So that's why we have the rules, we have the risk management in place to control and to basically to survive this market. So we have two more charts left. Do you want to have a look at TCGL?
Yes, sure. So these are the charts, example, how to survive and not to survive the market. And these are the perfect examples of why you must always have stop losses, whether real one there or mental, and you must abide by them. So this is a chart of TCGL, which in 8 hours did 5,000%. Again, there was no news, nothing. It started just going up, this light bluish background. This is post-market, and we can see that somebody was hunting somebody down. Again, the same story where they were pushing it up for 5,000%. And if you didn't have stop losses and you're like, oh, okay, it has to go down, we can see in the end it went down. It took just 1 hour to went down 90%, right? But before this, if you didn't have this, your broker would like stop you out. Probably, and that's what happened somewhere. You can see there the big candles and one with a massive wick. And even after this, they pushed a little bit more to check that there is nobody left.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there is
so would you
natural in this market. Everything is just like a game of somebody hunts somebody down or tries to achieve their own private goals for the company.
Would you ever consider going long, or you are strictly short and you wait for your setup and you will always be short because these are not real moves? These are not like these moves are the risk reward is better to the short side.
So the edge is definitely on the short side. I would love to go long. However, for now, I couldn't find a mathematical strategy that I would backtest and that was profitable enough to go long. It doesn't mean that it's impossible, because if we look at Ross Cameron, if we look at the YC Chill Trader, this is a guy who last year turned $258 into $500,000. And he did this on the World Investing Championship. So, and he's going mostly long, but he's going long on really, he's not even holding like me for 15 minutes or like few hours. He's going long most of his trades like 5 minutes. So he knows that somebody is pushing it up. He knows there are manipulators and he's just joining them rather than waiting for them to be done. So, and these are the guys who are playing against me in the middle of the trade. With each other's liquidity. So I would love to, but in my opinion, it's even harder, and I couldn't mathematically prove to myself for now that I can do this.
So you're at war with them, and you are sticking to your side. You're sticking to your guns. You're waiting for that moment when it breaks, and once it breaks, you know that you have the momentum on your
because
side.
When it breaks, I know they will not be interested. These guys, they're joining the manipulators on the way up. They are not interested in being manipulators or pushing the stocks up. They're just there with, you're like swimming with a shark. No, the shark will eat whatever it wants, and you just trying to get the rest of it.
I like that. I
hope one day I will be able to do longs as well.
Yes. Okay, let's do one last one because we're coming right up until the time. And I think the last one is PLVX.
Yes.
PLYX, sorry.
The last one is the extreme case of everything that we talked right now. Because this is a case where you can see in 11 seconds, the stock did 1,600%. And then in another minute, it went down the same 99%. So 11 seconds, this is just ridiculous. Like 11 seconds, you go and make your coffee and you return. And this is, again, that was pre-market. So there are no stop losses. You return from your coffee and your account is gone. So, and you're like, That's it. I'm guest for the rest of the day. I'm looking for a real job. So I wasn't in this trade again. I was lucky because my filter filtered it out, but it's not because I know when it's going to happen. It's just accidentally, because my filters, they filter out 80% of everything that moves. My backtest filters that I update constantly. But these things now happens once a month. So it never used to happen. 5 years ago, the stocks, if they do like another 100%, that was maximum, that was safe. Now you can see stocks doing 1,500% in 11 seconds. You never know when, who, and you can't even blink. So it's, even though there is an edge and the reason, strict fundamentals reasons why you might be right, before you are right, so many bad things can happen and you lose the whole your account in one day, even if you want to lose just 1% of your account.
Yeah,
so it's
and
a very
I think that's the problem. You can owe more money than you have in your account to the broker.
Absolutely. The broker might close your account in this case and come to you and sue you for more money.
Yes. I think with shorting, the price can go to infinity against you. With going long, the price can only go to zero. And I think this is the advantage. Okay, Oleg, thank you very much. I'm going to actually get ready to trade the open in a minute. We do have 30 more seconds just to say, do you have anything else that you want to let people know, especially anybody that just seeing this for the first time, anything that you want to add before we finish up?
Probably not much. This is my world that I live in. I wanted to share it with your viewers. Every market is different. You can't trade this strategy with any other market that I know. And you have to find your own edge, which depends on your personality. And whoever starts this, it will take much longer than you think. I thought that 3 months and I will be a professional, profitable trader. It took me at least 2 years full time. So yeah, but it's fun, entertaining, and you never get bored with this.
Thank you very much for your honesty. And we would love to also welcome you back on the show another time, Oleg. Thank you.
Would love to come.
Okay. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a wonderful day, Oleg. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Oleg. We will put his contact details in the description to this video so that you can reach out to him. And if you'd like to get more information about what he does and who he is, feel free to look out for that information. We do have the prize giveaway. So that's a $5,000 account courtesy of City Traders Imperium. And then we'll wrap up the show. We're going to wrap it up. So as of right now, we have a total of 10 entries. Thank you very much to everyone for your responses. All the best to everybody who has entered. And let's go for the win. So remember that if you do win, you will receive a $5,000 account courtesy of our friends over there at City Traders Imperium. All right, let's get the drum roll, please. Here we go. Here's the drum roll. Here's the drum roll. Here's the drum roll. Okay. All the best, everyone. And the winner of the $5,000 CTI account is none other than Rabani. Rabani, congratulations, Rabani, for winning the $5,000 account. You will be contacted by CTI, and I do want to make sure that everybody who has won has received the accounts and is trading with them. So please let us know how you are doing once you get your account set up, and we'll be happy to provide updates to everyone. That's it today. I think the last thing is we just want to say, whatever you're doing today, make sure that you are protecting your capital. It's very important that you are in this game for the long run. There's no need to blow your entire account up today or this week. Trade with patience, discipline, and you will be successful. From all of us here at Signature FX and on behalf of our sponsors, CTI, have a wonderful day, and we'll speak to you tomorrow.